Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Oneeka Williams, healer, positivity catalyst, storyteller, and teacher. And welcome to the Ecosystem series. Thank you so much for joining us again. I hope that you have been following along, and if you have, thank you so much. If this is your first time, welcome. As you may or may not know, I am a urologic surgeon. I'm also the author and creator of Dr. Didi Dynamo book series, and I'm building out this ecosystem of learning, otherwise known as the Williams Integrated Educational Model, that fosters this holistic approach, recognizing that learning consists of the academic and intellectual, it consists of the social, it consists of the emotional, and it consists of our physical and physiologic presence. And integrating all of these in order to gain a successful learning and create a successful learning experience and environment is crucial towards optimizing how we learn, not just in the classroom, but how we learn in a work environment. And I've been having a lot of fun. This is called the Ecosystem series, and so you can see that I have used so many of the other sort of artistic forms of expression, bringing the beautiful backdrops with all of the wonderful scenery and keeping, also true to my love of fashion and my love of style. And so I've shown up every time with a different look just to make this interesting and to continue to honor myself. And this is part of what we are talking about in the ecosystem of learning today, which is the why in ecosystem. The why is discover who you are. And in discovering who you are, being able to show up in your truest form every day, unapologetically. And that is part of what I do in this work, which is that I honor all parts of myself. I honor that surgeon part that is technical. I honor the artistic part that loves expression. Most of all, I honor my sense of wanting to make a difference and to create impact in the world and use my unique gifts and talents to do that, and really to encourage you all to do the same, and to encourage you to encourage the young minds with which you interact, the people with whom you interact, whether it is at home, whether it's at work, whether it is at school, to encourage them to bring themselves, to discover who they are, first of all, and then to bring the truest and the best form of themselves and version of themselves every day, wherever they show up. And when I think about the why, and the why in who you are, discovering who you are, and your why, which is also the WHY, but that play on why, it really helps you to bring full circle and centered to this place of just contentment and acceptance of who you are, and that anywhere you show up, you are confident and comfortable that you belong there, that you will not apologize for who you are, and that you take the fullness of who you are and apply it then to making a difference in whatever environment you become a part of. And so classrooms and workplaces where people show up, where students show up, discovering themselves and connecting with themselves, become a place that is welcoming, become a place that is warm, become a place that is receptive to people of all types, of all cultures, becomes a place where people are comfortable asking questions, becomes a place where people are comfortable sharing knowledge. Participants are empathetic, they're compassionate, they care about each other. There's humility, lack of arrogance, there's loyalty, there is love in those environments. It's an environment that feels just so a place of like you're at home. Whether you're at home, whether you're home in the classroom, whether you're at home at work, it's a place that just feels so receptive of who you are. And so the way to be able to provide these places where people discover who they are, there are a number of different ways that I'm going to share with you in terms of how you can promote those types of attributes and development of those characteristics in your environment. Certainly, places that do not encourage you to find who you are, to connect with who you are, become places that feel cold and sterile and disengaged. It feels as if there just is not much warmth presence. There is not a sense of collaboration. There's not a sense of community. There's not a sense of we're rolling up our sleeves and we're working together as a team. There's a lack of caring. People don't know what's happening in each other's lives, and quite frankly, many times they don't care. And you will find in those environments that people are much more likely to feel isolated. Isolated leads to feelings of depression. Depression can lead to feelings of, I'm so hopeless that I don't want to live anymore. And so we want to make sure that as we create and we build these ecosystems of learning, that we are fostering the opportunities for our students, for our employees to connect to who they are, and in so doing feel that sense of worth that makes them want to show up every day knowing that they're valued in the environment. There are a number of features of discovering who you are. And quite frankly, the first is really that mindfulness, is being present. Being present and connecting to yourself. And there's so many different ways that we can connect to ourselves. We can connect to ourselves through meditation. We can connect to ourselves through writing. Writing, for me, is the ultimate form of mindfulness. Because when you're writing, you can't really do a whole lot else. I have found my love of writing developed from the time I was very young because my dad is a journalist. And he imparted that love of writing. It was an integral part of our school curriculum. And I wrote poetry for special occasions because we just didn't have the money to buy gifts, and we didn't have the money to the disposable income to be able to buy cards and all of these other types of things that we will use to celebrate, and gifts that we will use, material things, to be able to acknowledge milestones. Our gift was pulling from ourselves and giving that and sharing that with whomever. And so that was an act of mindfulness for me because, number one, you can't write and run. You can't write and, do exercises. You can't even write and pay attention to the television. Writing is really a singular act of mindfulness, and it allows you to really express your deepest feelings. It allows you to connect to how you feel. If you're writing to express something, you first have to connect to what that feeling is that you're experiencing. What is the emotion that I am experiencing in order to share that with someone else? And so consequently, encouraging students, encouraging employees to write and to practice these different applications of mindfulness becomes a way of really connecting in to who they are. And other practices of mindfulness and other practices of connecting into yourself, things like yoga, even physical activity, allows for the endorphins, allows for those body mediators that bring this sense of well-being and allows you to feel this sense of accomplishment, that you're able to continue to connect into who you are and to what you like. Take the opportunity to step back from the social media, step back from the devices, step back from those things that take you away from who you are and allow you and cause you to focus on other people's lives. And so many times you begin to internalize a feeling of worthlessness, a feeling of not belonging, a feeling of hopelessness, a feeling that everybody else in the world has this perfect life except you. Everyone else in the world has all of these friends except you. When we focus externally and we don't do the inside out work, we end up judging who we are and judging our life based on some external characteristic. But in actuality, we need to spend the time turning off the devices and turning off all of those things that pull us away from ourselves and really connect into ourselves. And we are going to have a list of questions on our website and at the end of this video that you can download that help you and helps you to connect in to who you are. What is your character? understanding your strengths, understanding your areas for improvement, understanding your opportunities for growth, understanding the things that make you say yay, understanding the things that make you feel fearful. Connecting into who you are requires the time where you spend with yourself. And when you spend that time with yourself, what you will find is that you will discover those parts of you that previously seemed as if they were not reachable. And as you discover those parts of yourself, you discover the self-love, the self-worth. You dig in that treasure chest and you find all of those things that have already been embedded in you, that you were born with, the value that you were born with, you are able to connect with. And as you discover the why, you discover the you discover why are you here? What are the things that make you feel like this is the reason I was called and I was placed on this earth? And ultimately, we're all placed here to care for one another. So even if you just focus on how can I every day care for someone, make a difference, try to institute change. What are some of the things that I can do? That in itself feeds back into that self-worth, into that value, because you are living out part of your destiny. And so I encourage you today, on your journey to your why, on your journey to the why of ecosystem, that you really just take the time to do what I described, to spend some time with yourself. And in developing that character, in developing the compassion, in recognizing all of the attributes that makes you special, in spending time in those mindful moments, in practicing presence, in being conscious, in not doing things in an unconscious way, but being conscious of what you do and why you do it, and to have us actually create this ecosystem of learning that promotes that, so that we as teachers and leaders will have practices that we institute, that we facilitate, that we encourage on a daily basis, so that we are able to create and facilitate this environment and this ecosystem of learning that drives us closer and closer to our goals. So I thank you once again for joining me. I am so excited to continue to share these insights with you. Please, if you find that it will bless someone else, go ahead and share it with them. Continue to come back to our website, www.dr.oneekawilliams.com, and continue to follow and continue to just tap in to all of the things that make you special, understanding that an ecosystem of learning is an ecosystem that recognizes that without you, the world would not be a better place, because ultimately we are inextricably linked and interdependent. And your presence, the why of who you are, means a lot. Thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to seeing you next time.